Hi, welcome to another episode of GOEL Founders, where we inspire youth through the inspiring stories of founders all over the world. I will be your host, Margaret Kimani, and today's guest, he is here with us. He's going to introduce himself.
Thank you, Margaret.
Welcome.
My name is Peter Emmanuel Ngugi. Career-wise, I did a Bachelor of Science in Statistics and Programming.
Okay.
I'm from the Christ Kingdom, so I'll say I'm a believer.
Oh, wow.
I think it's important to know that out.
Yeah.
And I'm a businessman.
Okay.
Do I keep doing more introductions?
You can tell us what you do and what that means to you.
Okay. I run a line of fashion houses called Nuelas Closets under the Nuelas Group. Despite closets, as I've told you, I did statistics and programming, so I have an interest in data science.
Yeah.
So under the Nuelas Group also there is a Data Stars International.
Wow.
So we're coming up with a company that deals with data. But what currently has been my first, let me say, fruit or first baby has been Nuelas Closet, which started now 5 years down the line.
5 years.
Yes. So you could say Nuelas Closet, Data Starts, and an entrepreneur.
Okay. So you say that you did, is it computer science or what is
Statistics.
it? Statistics.
And programming.
So that led to Nuela. So which was first, the data part or the business?
I did my degree in Kenyatta University.
Okay.
So, of course, did statistics and programming first. But when I was in my third year, going to my fourth year, is when now I started Nuelas Closets.
Okay.
So Nuelas Closet came in first before even completing my degree course.
Yeah.
Data Stats actually is one of the most recent one.
Okay.
You know, so Data Stats is the recent one, but Nuelas Closet has been there ever since.
Okay.
And that's why I thought of putting them under one umbrella, the Nuelas Group, because even in Data Stats International, I'm not just the CEO, I am a co-founder with a fellow founder. So they're all under one group, the Nuelas Group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what propelled you to starting the Nuelas Closet?
All right. I think I'm a lover of fashion. I'm passionate about fashion, about how people dress. And when I was in campus, I used, you know how you used to do outstanding suits, dressed in suits. Also, I was a student leader back then, elected, and you had to do suits on and off,
Yeah.
So I one day I ordered a number of suits from a friend. Now he's a friend, and there were like six suits. And it took me rounds for almost a year for those 6 suits to get done.
Oh, he was making them?
Yes. So it was almost a year. And now he's a good friend. Funny enough, we share the same name. It's called Emmanuel. And that's when I decided now, why don't I just venture into making outfits? Now, that's what you do. What I'm dressed in, the shirts, we dress a number of people. And from then, henceforth, the passion has been flowing, and I thank God for that.
Okay.
To where Nuelas is now with 5 employees, and started with 1, had difficulties in the middle, and now the business runs by itself for God's glory.
Okay, that's really nice. Because like the fashion industry right now, I'm seeing people are embracing making like custom-made clothes rather than the ready-made kinds of clothes. So I believe your line will really grow. Maybe in the next 5 years, it will be like somewhere very far from here. That's nice.
Amen.
So about the Data Stats, how did that come by?
I do play golf. Sorry, let me just mention that. Because when playing, I will meet with friends, and some of them have companies, and they will say, "What do you do?" And I'll tell them I do Nuelas Closet, and most of them would want to be dressed, my company, their outfits, and I thought about having done data, statistics in campus. I thought about, and that's why I introduced myself as a businessman first. I thought about this opportunity where you have friends who are running businesses also, and not all of them would like to be dressed. Not all of them have uniforms.
Yeah, true.
True. And data has been the current thing.
Yes.
And that is what, having done statistics, we thought of, with a friend of mine who's called Victor, we thought of, why don't we do Data Stars International? Why don't we bring something different? Why don't we look for companies, tell them we'll handle their data, and they don't even have, we save them the hassle of them employing data analysts, data scientists, and they have to manage the human resource. Why don't we do so? And that is when the idea came in. And despite that, also offering more services to such companies. So I started challenging myself, and the more I will meet new people, because people do businesses with people, not companies.
Yeah, true.
So the more you meet new people, you realize, I can't trust them. For this one, I can trust them. But what is common amongst all of these companies and these people I'm meeting? The companies have data.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So why don't I also, being a businessman, offer a solution to this? And it's something you had a background of. That is something you studied, you know?
Yeah.
And 1 + 1 + God equals to anything that can amount that God wants to.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know? So Data Stats is the newest baby under the Nuelas Group.
Wow.
And that's why I think probably you guys called me because of Nuela's Closet, because Closet
Yeah.
has been there for a while.
Yeah.
You know? But just like Closet started, so will happen with Data Stats. And probably one day I'll be back at GOEL Way and we'll be talking about the Nuelas Group and Data Stats, you know?
Yeah.
So that is the latest and the newest baby under the Nuelas Group.
Okay, that's nice. So you're saying the Nuelas Group. Let me just take you back. So under the Nuelas Group, it's Nuela's Closet and the Data Stats.
Yeah, Data Stats International, yes.
Okay. So it's just two?
Yes.
All right.
The others that we have that are still in the heavenly realm are things like Nuela's Groceries.
Yeah.
You know, things that you have passion in.
Yeah.
And I say it's a group because you can't be all founder and CEO of everything.
True, true.
So Nuela's Closet, yes, I run it, CEO, founder. But now Data Stats International, there is a co-founder. So probably in other business, there'll be other co-founders,
yeah.
like-minded people and people who you've worked with and you've grown with and believe you can do something together. Then together you form a Nuelas Group.
Nice, nice. So can you say that whatever you do is your passion or your purpose in life?
I will say yes. And I will say, I know people will say you can't be a master of everything. But also, I would like to challenge, and that's why I said I am a businessman. So limiting myself to saying doing closets was my purpose in life, it will be a little bit different for me. For me, I think finding or founding is a purpose that I have in life.
Okay.
I like it when I'm building. I like it when I'm starting.
Yeah.
I like it when it's difficult. I like it when I know, you know, that finding, starting up process, when people doubt you and you have to pay rents for the businesses and you're not sure where the next amount of cash is coming in and you're worried.
Yeah.
I realize I enjoy that process much more than even when the glory comes, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And that's why if my purpose then, if you ask me about my purpose, I'll say my purpose is finding. My purpose is starting up.
Yeah.
I have no problem in starting up and after it's grown, involving people in it later in the glory and them realming in the glory, because there's something about, you know, that process of finding. So if my purpose, you ask me about it, I'll say, I realized it wasn't just in the closets. Because even there's a time when the closets were on and I'm there thinking, what's next? You know, okay, now the closet is here.
Yeah.
So what's
what
next?
Can I do next?
You know, and it is through those times you are doubted and I think I find peace in that period. You know, I find more of God in that period. You know, it's enticing to be through. So if it's for a purpose for me, and that's why I say, it will be more of the finding process.
Okay.
You know, and seeing it standing up and it going, and it reaches to a level now, lesser efforts you put in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But my purpose, not just in the closet business, is more in the finding. It's more in the building. Now, building aligning with what I'm passionate about, or people with the same goals we have, or the same oriented. Because I believe in the world is ours to the rich. You know, what your mind can protect, with God in it, there's nothing you can do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a very insightful statement. So, what's you starting your Nuelas Closet and the Data Start? What are the advantages that you've experienced and the challenges you've gone through?
I think advantages, first, it's always a learning process. Lessons never end. And not just lessons of you realizing how business is, but also you realizing more about yourself. You know, you realizing more about, oh, I didn't know, probably I'm quick to judge, or you're quick to anger, or you're quick to, you know. So you realize learning process has been very, I can say one of the core advantages I've learned through this process. That is one. The second one I'll say also is time. You realize you have a lot of time on your end. No one else tells you what to do. No one else tells you to wake up early. No one tells you have to go to the job. No one tells, you know. So the advantage is there's a lot of time on your end. It can be an advantage or a disadvantage.
Yeah.
If you decide to sleep on it and you wait for someone else to wake you up, then it's a disadvantage.
True.
You have stress or not, you know, and you realize 24 hours is not enough. So having your own time and you deciding what to do with your time, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine and the co-founder now, that and we were saying there is living that you're living for a purpose, and the other kind where you just wake up, you're not sure what you're doing, you love it, you have to go to work because you need the money, and you're stressed. You understand? You have to do that business because the business is bringing in money, but you don't like that business, and it's stressing you out. And then there is you living. You living is on Tuesdays in the morning, probably I have golf trainings. I'll go for golf trainings on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, I have a meeting in the morning, or I have to focus on stats. Data stats, I have to work till late night, or it's 1 p.m. and I have to be up at 5. You know, you're literally living. Yeah. You're doing what you like, and you are intentionally creating time for. It's not, I'll do that when I get rich, or when I grow up at 40, I'll start doing it. Yeah. Let them know you started doing it as early as your 20s. Yes. That was your lifestyle, that you're already grinding in it. So that advantage of having time on your end and you living now. And there's nothing as nice as now living in accordance to God's purpose in your life. That's different, because now you find people straining. And I think that is also another very big advantage this has taught me. You are literally, the time is on your end. You know, you're literally living. You know? And you don't have to wait for a weekend for you to live again. And then you wait for another weekend for you. So during the week, you're not living, you're stressed out. You know? And this doesn't mean there's no stress. No, let me come to the challenges. The challenges are, there are difficulties. Start things up and things are not moving. There are difficulties. But now, when there are difficulties in something you love and enjoying and you're doing, they're just difficulties. They're not strain. So, you know, you don't feel overstretched and stressed out. You're enjoying the difficulties. That's true. You're enjoying the worry. You know, you're worried. Well, okay, now this is an online business you're doing. How is the cashing out means, had the problems, you know, you're enjoying it, you know, okay, this one has a problem, but just like any other problems, you always find a solution. Let's give time, let's think about it, you find a solution towards it, you know? So those are the challenges. Another challenge you find is, you find doubters. People will doubt you. You get even doubted with your own family. Your own mom or dad can doubt you. You know, they will doubt you when you start. They will doubt you to an extent now you start making money. And even when you make money, they will doubt you till you make enough money. You know? Because now they will doubt you before you get your first client. Oh, that starts. So, hajapata kazi, he hasn't gotten work, he's not employed yet? Oh, he's not. So, what was he doing? He was selling clothes. How is it going? He's gotten his first order. Now you see? You've gotten your first order, but they'll still doubt you.
They still doubt you.
And then now when you make your money and they're like, at least now he's supporting home. At least he is. But then you see, if he got work, and if he was employed by now, he would have gotten. So they will doubt you before you make your money. They will doubt you when you make your money. They will doubt you until you make enough. Even when you make enough, they'll still doubt you. Now when you understand that, you don't even judge. You don't feel guilty. You don't feel bad because a parent doubted you, or a sister, or a partner. You don't. In any case, you smile. Because you know now, God, now you do how you do it. Now. You know? Because now it gives you a chance for you to showcase. And I think after building Nuelas Closet, then coming to, I told you I'm an entrepreneur, so online business, you something in the net and you find cash in it. You enjoy in the building now. You know? So doubting is a very big challenge people face. Others fall through the way when the doubter starts coming in, or it hurts you when you get doubted when you're closer from home, or your own dad tells you you should have gotten work. You know? So that's a challenge. Doubting and you getting worried towards the difficulties, towards the journey. But then if you view it differently and you decide to get your first order, and as you get your first order, if you can make 1,000, you can make 1,000,000 more. You just need to replicate the process. Just now you need to times it with 10, with 15, with 20. And it's a life of possibilities. You know? Yes.
Wow, that's such a interesting. I could listen to you all day. In the world of fashion, there's so many people. You know, everyone is doing this and that. People are coming up. What makes you stand out? Like, what makes Nuelas Closet stand out from all the other brands?
I will say, I'll come back to what I said when I started. People do businesses with people, they're not companies. So one, the people you find at Nuelas Closet, you can't do everything by yourself. And that's why you need a real well-able team. And they look at the team leader. So you have to instill a discipline towards the team. You have to instill and show them, hey, this is the goal. You have to remind them, this is it.
Yeah.
So you have to show them, this is how you need to treat people. You have to be intentional. Just don't look at the dressing. I know she's coming for a dress. I'll say Margaret is coming for a dress. But I want you to be intentional about Margaret. What does she work? Is she a lawyer? What does she do? What does she love? Get to know that. Build that in,
Yeah.
So when you build that in your team, the Nuelas team, you find whether you find Emmanuel or you find Sam. Sam is the manager in my Nuelas closet.
Okay.
Or you find someone else, you'll still be served. So what is different in Nuelas closet? The people. We understand people do businesses with people and not the company or the group.
For sure, yeah.
So our relation with you, we want to know more about you. Another thing in the fashion industry, there's always a lot of false statements and lies, and the same thing I told you my story. I was to be done suits that took an year. So we try as much as possible and make it different. How? We're the ones who call you to tell your outfit is done.
Oh, wow.
I think I've gotten clients who are like, wait, hold up, you guys called me and told me my outfit is done.
I know, like,
it should be the other way around, Like,
especially with tailors.
Yes, it should be. Hamjamaliza, you guys are not done yet.
Yeah.
But there, we and I always tell my team, don't pronounce and say the outfit will be done by Tuesday. If by Tuesday sure it won't be done.
Yeah.
The other thing, communicate. We are grown-ups. Why lie then? No one will come and beat you up.
No one will.
Face the consequence. Just call and say, hey, hi, Margaret. I knew we said we'll be meeting on Tuesday, but kindly, is it possible from your end?
Yeah.
This has happened. This has arose. Can you fix it on Wednesday? Now you say from your end, let the client tell you, no, I can't. And then, okay, now let us see what we can do. If it's strain and work towards the night, we'll know what we can do.
Yeah.
If you can allow us, then kindly, so we communicate. We're honest. Work is done on time. Work is done timely. And we always are open for feedback. By feedback, I just don't want positive feedback. We take negative feedbacks, and we understand it's business. I always take it as a challenge. I dressed Maggie for her wedding, but I didn't dress Maggie's sister or friends for a wedding. Why? I take it as a challenge. Probably there's something that was done with Maggie's wedding that wasn't done right.
Oh, right.
But that doesn't mean that I don't talk to Maggie or say hi. No, there's one-on-one relation with you. You're my friend first.
Yes.
So if you can't trust in me in my business, I understand it's me who needs to work on the business. It's not me being angry towards you and saying now you took orders elsewhere.
Yeah.
In any case, it's a learning process for us. I sit down with my team and tell them, you realize this and this time you didn't do it here? Yes, because there's this and this mistake. So we need to work on this and correct. And of course, it's difficult at times. At times, it gets tiring, especially on my end. And I feel like these people are not seeing the vision. Have they forgotten the vision? Do I have to remind them? Look at them doing work just because of finishing it. You just did a chat just because, So sometimes it eats me up and say, do I just have to remind them? But I remember now this is the position I'm in. Mine is to remind them, so keep reminding them.
Yeah.
So never get tired, never feel angry. No, it's part of my work. I know it's simple for, like, it's common nature or common knowledge for you to do something well. But he didn't do it, probably my tailor.
Yeah.
I just tell myself it's my work to remind. So I'll remind again.
And again.
And I think I got to a level I agreed and said, now that is my position. As the company grows, your position changes as founder and CEO. When the company is young, you have to do the cleaning, you have to do the ironing, you have to do the marketing. So as the company grows, you need to be well aware which position now are you supposed to take and not just cling on the same position you're on. Now you need to empower others. If I used to ensure, I talk to all clients, I need to empower someone else. I'm like, hey, Sam, now this is up to you. You have to do this and this. If you used to do this now, because as the company grows, you need to know and realize what's your position.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would say that is what is different about Nuelas. We are timely. We understand that you're doing business with people, not just the outfit, but we just want to know you more.
Yeah.
We are honest people. We try to give you our best. It's basically the simple, normal people take for granted is what to do it differently.
Oh, wow.
Nothing extravagant.
Okay. Wow, that's really nice. So, when you were coming up with your team, you said you have a team of 5, right?
Yes.
Does the 5 include the tailors, or those are just managerial positions?
1 is manager, and then the 4 are the tailors. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Probably as we go on, probably you add on tailors as the business grows. Yeah.
So how was it? Was it challenging to find a tailor who can do exactly what you want. Because like I understand, from everyone learns from a different place. Maybe you learned differently. Maybe you are self-taught. And there's someone who was taught like, this is how you make clothes. Was it like very challenging for you, for that person to do exactly what you want?
I think people do say finding job or work is hard. Not until you're an employer and you're looking for the right person, then you realize finding the right person is hard. Yeah. Getting jobs or work is not hard. Finding the right person. Finding the right person is hard. Because now you find someone who is good at this, good at the skill, but then he lacks character. Or he lacks, or he views himself highly than anyone else in the team.
Yeah.
And then now you don't know how to balance it. So I will say, yes, it was challenging getting the right people. And I won't use the word was, because also it is still.
Still is.
Yeah. So it is still challenging getting the right person to do the work. But I will say, you keep trying, you don't give up, yes. And sometimes I always like to, I talk with Sam, and I always make a joke and tell him, if you're looking towards adding more staff now, it's time we call them up from heaven and tell God, you know what? Nuelas is looking for someone extra. So align that person whose destiny was connected with her to come. Yeah, because when you go with your own understanding, you get wrong people drop, strong people drop.
So it kind of stalls you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, it was challenging. You pick them, and what you need to teach them, you'll teach them while in the business, as long as they check on some few basic things that you feel the two of their goals align, the company goals, and that is what you wanted. So you can perfect them while they are in the business.
Okay. Yeah. So have you ever been employed before, or you were just like from campus? Oh, you told me that you started Nuelas Closet when you were in campus. Yes. So you never went through the process of getting employed, getting frustrated by employees, by bosses and stuff.
But let me give you a brief history. When I finished high school, I went to Mombasa. We lived in Mombasa. So did my driving, and I was employed under a friend's company, like a dad's friend, my dad and his friend, doing clearing and forwarding. So I used to do clearing and forwarding in Mombasa. Despite that also, I went back to my former high school, and I was employed as a tutor. I was in Thika High School, and we used to do tuitioning to students, and we used to stay in the school, and you're given some place to stay, Also, during the breaks in my campus, I remember back at home, like home now, live alone, where our origin comes from. There is some place in Kenyatta Farm. Okay. I went there in some high school called Swani High School. And 6-month period, I took them for English and math. I was doing classes literally like a teacher. So I don't know if that counts as employment. If that counts as employment, then I was employed. But then if you say employment has to be you clear university, then get a permanent job, then that one I haven't yet. I'm not sure if I will. You never know. Probably, this is life, but I'm open-minded.
Okay.
I know it might be difficult to settle in, because now you have to, for me to be with you, or not unless we do consultations.
Yeah.
But consultation,
I think would work for you.
I don't know. Probably I will be employed in a day.
Yeah.
I'm humble enough. If you're humble enough to lead, you should be humble enough to take lessons.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get employed not for the money, but just to, to have. Like, sometimes I was thinking about that, because data stats is very young, and I was thinking, what about going to work in a company that deals with data? But nowadays you can work from home.
Yeah.
They tell you have your laptop, work from home. So I can be in my office or in my own house from 8 to 5, enjoying that, working for a company in the US or in Kenya, but from the data stats. I know my vision is to build this other one, but probably not there for the cash. Not employed for the cash. Mine is for the experience and to know more about that.
Interesting.
So I don't know if I will, but if it does, according to the moment, yes, we will know.
Okay.
It might be difficult.
Yeah. So what would you advise someone who is probably watching at home, and maybe they're just stuck somewhere, maybe from employment? What can you advise that person to get out of their way and like find that thing that God had purposed for them in their life? What would you advise a person to do?
I think one thing we all need to understand is we all have different assignments in this earth. So sorry that now in the world and generation we live in, people never want to take time and understand what is the assignment. Even kings, not everyone is a king. We have kingmakers.
Right.
And a kingmaker could play his role really well to an extent. Each and every king wants that kingmaker.
Yeah.
You know, even businesses, not everyone is a founder. We have people who are supportive. And when this kingmaker wants to be a king, he fails terribly.
True.
You know, when the king wants to be a kingmaker so as to make someone else a king, he fails terribly.
Yeah.
You know, when a founder wants to become, if every founder has help, you know, you need to identify someone else in your team who can, you know, plays a vital role and honor and treasure that person. So we all cannot fit in one thing. We all were brought in this world for different purposes. We all are not brought here to be businessmen.
Yeah.
Some are to be career women and men, and they'll do very well in their careers. Because even those businessmen need these career people.
Yeah.
You know? So you need, first of all, to understand it's never a competition. So it's not about, I just want to be like so-and-so and you know, because I just want to wake up one day and have businesses like him, or I just want to be so-and-so because this career-wise, the same person as you see I am, there are people who are in the career world and I learn from them, you know? Case example, I have classmates who went ahead and got work in companies that deals with data. And when I sit down with them, I understand I have to learn from him because irrespective, yes, he's employed, he works 9 to 5, but he is so-and-so in that company, data science company. I want to own Data Stars International, but I have to understand so-and-so, I have to learn from him.
Yes.
So he tells me, he'll guide me and tell me, go do these courses, do refresher courses, and add more courses. So you have an understanding that it's not a competition first. Now you have a clear, open head for you to understand and know, I need to start. That I might be employed, but mine is as well as good as the person who's starting his own business.
That's right.
You know? So what is your purpose? That is one thing. This generation also, we are a place where, 3 things. Foundations. We hardly want to build foundations. We just want to wake up one day and be that person. Wake up one day and own those businesses. You know? Wake up one day and be in that loving relationship and that marriage partner. So you want to continue your day-to-day activities. You want to continue, sorry to say, I don't know how that will sound. You want to continue with having fun, you know, and having fun could be exposing yourself to other people also, making out or sleeping around and everything, but at the same time post this loving partner and be like, you see these two, how they're touching each other on the rosy. I'm like, when I get a partner like this, I will settle in it. Nowhere. You want to just have a transition from having that extreme fun to waking up in the morning and having this good partner.
No, it's not possible.
Nowhere did you have a time to focus on your foundations. Nowhere did you have a time, just like any contractor will tell you, before you build, the foundation is important.
Yes.
You just don't come build the house and then now start making the foundation from down. You know?
Yeah.
So me, this is what I do say, in business, in your relations, this generation wants just to exit. There's no that exiting, there's no that break period for you to build a foundation. I want just to come from fun, then bump into this one, settle, have a good marriage. I want to just fun, then start a company, let it grow. There's that period, which is very tough. A period where you have to be alone. A period where it has to hit you and realize, okay, I want to do business. There are things I need to set aside from. You know, I can't use all money to do this or that. This is business. There are times you will lack. You won't dress well. You won't have a nice shoe because you want to invest in the business. There are times you'll be lonely. There are times you'll be doubted with your own, just what I'm saying, with your own families. That period of being doubted, and you don't want to go through that. You want a right partner who gets into marriage, you have to have a break towards your own life. First understand you. Build your social, physical, get your career right, build your spiritual part. You know, not opening up to everyone and any Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then one day you just want to wake up and first build that foundation. As you build that foundation, as you build you, find you, and every other realm around you, spiritual, social, financial, and everything. Trust you me, the universe even attracts you now to that person you want to be, to that business, to that person you like to become. And then once you're in it, once you're in that business, now it's when you build well in it. You just also once you're in that marriage, it's when now you build well in that marriage. But people just want to come in a marriage and then we'll build well in it.
No,
you didn't have time for a foundation. You know, and this foundation you did by yourself.
True.
You can't do a foundation when you already have someone or you already. You don't.
Yeah, it's like they say Rome was not built in a day.
Yes. The foundation is you have to build it by yourself, which is tiring, which is exhausting. That is the period, that is the time people don't want to cross.
Yeah, people don't want that.
So for those who are saying wants to get the purpose, you see that time? You just have to go through it. Yeah. And there's nothing as good as being intentional about it. Mm-hmm. So foundation is very important first. You have to be intentional to build that foundation. You want to be a good CEO, be a good businessman, you have to have time where you'll be alone, where you'll be doubted as you start, where you lack rents, and you have to be intentional to find solutions to those problems. That is the hardest time. Yeah. You want to have that good marriage partner, you have to be intentional. You have to have time that you build your spirituality. You have no partner, boyfriend or girlfriend. You don't do more outings, clubbings or what. You don't sleep with any Tom, Dick and Harry you do. You have to be intentional about it so that now you attract what you want. Then now why you need, because you've already built a foundation. Now you build what you need. But all of us want just to get a house. Imagine building on a flat place like this and you build a house. When the street will just sweep it away.
It will just...
But now that time, no one wants. Because it's difficult. It's strenuous. I want just to live the life and then find myself in this. And let me tell you what happens in this generation. Let me use something that relates. You want to have that fun and then get in it. So you have that fun, time goes, then it hits you, time is up, and then you realize, so what do I do? No, I'll settle with anyone who comes in. So you settle with anyone who comes in. Do you know what? That is a disaster in waiting. Yeah. So that's why that is a disaster in waiting. You settle with anyone who comes in, and then it hits you up. And then you realize, no, it was not working. And then now you already have 2 kids down the line. And then what you are avoiding, you remember that period where you're avoiding to build a foundation? Now it's coming and you have consequences. And then you know what turns up to that? Now you start talking bad and saying, let me tell you this life. This life, let me tell you. Men do not trust. Me, I'd rather not have a woman also. Men also are saying, this life, ladies, do not trust them. But you remember there was no break time? Yeah. There was no foundation building time? Yeah. None of that was there. That is one thing I would advise the generation of ours. There's a period that you cannot evade. I always tell myself, what keeps me moving, even that starts being the youngest company, the fact that I know I will go and get clients who will doubt me, who will give me the work. Others, they'll tell me that was poorly work done, or others will tell me, of course, others will, So the fact that my mind is prepared for all that, just as well as when I started, now it makes this journey beautiful. Because there's that period, that foundation time that I'm preparing. It's the same thing with everything in life. But now we don't want that. No. We want to cross.
Just want to jump in.
Live happy, but post those nice and you're like, I can be like, then when I get that on me, I'll settle. And then build in that. You don't build in that if you never built in yourself. True. And the universe is very fair. We serve a just God. Yeah. We do.
That's so true.
Foundation. The next thing is grounding. What bases? What grounds you? What are you grounded? Yes, you have a foundation you're building. Now, as you're building that foundation, what is your grounding? I always make a joke and say, which book do you relate with? Sorry to say. Some have arguments, but your arguments, give me a grounding of your arguments. Let me define it further. Case and sample. Something you're doing and this generation, squeezy, in the modern, people don't do this. So what is your grounding? The book of wokeness, your walk. Is that book even grounded enough for you to keep you? You get my point? Yeah. You don't have a grounding. If you're an Islam or someone who practices in it, those ones, they have groundings. If you're a Christian, give me a grounding. I believe in God, and to live like Him. And my Bible says it is wrong for me to do this and this. And therefore, my conscience and the fear I have towards God makes me not to do this. Yeah. You see, a grounding keeps you grounded and it guides you. You get me? Yeah. But now in a generation where you have no grounding, we all believe in the book of wokeness. Are you woke enough? You say I can't do this and this because in this generation, or squeezy, who does that? I can't do that to my woman because in this generation I do that. I can't do that to my man because in this generation
we don't do this.
So what's your grounding? I always tell people, tell me your grounding. As we argue out on points, I wouldn't argue with anyone who's not giving me a good grounding. If your grounding is book of wokeness, that is to say, this year, this is your grounding, next year it will change as years goes by. Because there's no grounding. You just go with, no, you're not woke enough. And in this, no, you're not woke enough. I do this for so and so I can't. In the same way in business. It's in business. At your trust, there's no grounding. Okay, trust him, say in your business, you'll go wash all your clients and take them away from you. Who told you? What's grounding you? Hearsays. There's nothing that is grounding you.
Hot air.
What's grounding you? So grounding, I think, is very important because 10 years to come, 20 years to come, 50 years to come, you'll be grounded. Most of the things the youths are doing right now, most of the life the youths are living right now, 10 years from now, those foundations will be, the foundations they're building are very weak. They'll have no standing. You don't want to set time to do this because you want to live life. You feel you still have to do enough fun. Okay, you keep at it. Ask yourself 10 years from now, will that foundation matter? You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to risk. You feel stressed with this work, but I just want to continue with it and it's stressing me out. And then, okay, so 10 years from now, will you still be having, you'll rather get hurt now and deal with it now.
Yeah.
Why are we in a generation where we're postponing this? You know? So you don't want to build foundations, you have no grounding. The last thing I'll say is God, which I God lightly. In actual sense, it shouldn't even be the last thing. It's actually the first in everything.
Yeah, true.
Because we take, and God is a very fair and just God. You want to use him to get riches, he'll give you that. But that the richness, when it wasn't him that was the core, it will all fade away. How many rich people we do know and they're stressed out and killing themselves, or their sons turned out to be very useless and it's eating them and their monies cannot solve it.
True.
With all this that is happening in this world, how do you want to live in a world with your own understanding? With all this guesswork and anything can happen anytime, how do you want to live with your own understanding? You have businesses, Corona came and hit you. If you had no grounding, no foundation, and no God, you'll have closed up businesses long time ago. Because with how life is very fluid, how do you want to live without God? You know, I don't get it at times. And by God I mean is more of not religion. It's not of religion.
I know.
It's more of what's your your connections with him. What is your spirituality level with him? You know?
Yeah.
I think it fuels every other thing. It fuels every other thing. If you believe in, let's say, God, for me, I'd say the Bible is very clear, and it says, if you obey him, that is fully obey him. I think it's Deuteronomy 28 verse 1, and it says, if you fully obey him, you know, and follow all his commands, the word are fully obey. And then this all his commands, he goes ahead and gives the blessings that will come. And I like verse 8, because verse 8 says, he will bless your barns and bless everything that you put your hands on. But now we want the blessings, but we don't want to do the fully obey. Fully.
Yeah, no.
We want to obey him with some, and then we don't want to do the all commands. We want to do it with some. You get? And then look at how the Bible challenges. I like, is it Isaiah 7? I think it's Isaiah 7:11. And this is what he says. He says, ask anything. You know? Ask for anything. Be extravagant. Ask for the moon. Imagine God himself telling you to ask for anything. Be extravagant. Ask for the moon.
Wow.
A life of an endless possibilities.
For
He wants to show you, if you put me first, then ask for anything. Ask for anything.
For real.
But now we want to do it with our own understanding.
Yeah.
You know, I'll apply because I'm good at this, so I'll be the CEO. Okay, you want to be the CEO with your own understanding? Yes, there's a level you can be the CEO with your own understanding. You know, that's how the world is, yes. But then you wonder, you are CEO with that understanding, with all those riches, but you're still stressed out. Wow. But you still feel there's something lacking in your heart. But you still feel there's something you want to chase. Whatever you're chasing in this earth, whatever you're chasing in this world, you're chasing more fun, more trips, it never comes to an end. That feeling will always be insatiable.
Yeah.
You get?
For real, yeah.
So you first have to get your own grounding.
Yeah.
Get your own foundation, balance your own spirituality, such that you're comfortable with your own self. Then every other thing is a plus. You won't find yourself having that urge to chase fun, to chase trip. It will just be a plus. Because if you're chasing fun, and fun is everything, is the core in your heart and everything, then it will never end.
Yeah, no.
You'll find uncomfort, you'll be discomfort. Anytime you do it, you find you're not settled. You know?
Yeah, true.
But now if you get it right the other way around, first build this, have it. Because all that foundation, you work on God, you work on your grounding, it gives you peace. Now every other thing, imagine now doing that while you're enjoying it. You're a person who loves trips, you do trips and enjoying it.
Yes.
Not the trips have a hangover you, so that you're always chasing it.
Yeah.
And then when you lack the cash, now you're stressed.
Yeah.
You're a person who loves games or something, now you're doing it with enjoy. You find real fun. You find real comfortable. You're a career person, you're doing your work while you're enjoying it.
Right.
Because you have the right foundation. You know, because you have a right grounding, because you have God. Now, anything you do, there's rest. You're a businessman, you're doing businesses while you're enjoying. Corona is coming, going, you're just okay.
You're just by there.
You know, elections are coming, going, you're okay.
Just okay.
Your plans are not even nullified. As people speak and talk, hey, the current economy, you're moving differently. You get?
Yeah.
It's hard for such a core to be swayed. It's hard for such a core to be moved.
Yeah.
But now, okay, you don't want to do the foundation. You don't want to do the grounding. And then you don't want to do God. Now let's do business. Corona comes, you are stressed. Unaanzisha hii, you close it.
Yeah.
You did a hotel business, you've closed. Hotel has no money nowadays. You come to Nuelas because I see Nuelas is doing well. Let me come to fashion. You come to fashion, there's nothing. You know, you're a career person who was not building with other things. You get to this job, you say, no, this job is stressful. If I get another one, I'll be better. Okay, you get the other one. Still, there's something lacking.
Wow.
Now, what is the problem? You're a person who you want to do the fun. You keep doing them, but still, deep down, you feel there's something lacking. Why? There are things you didn't focus on.
Yeah.
You didn't focus on foundation. You didn't take that time to do that.
Yeah.
You didn't focus on grounding. What are you grounding? What is your grounding? You have no grounds. You're moving with the wind. If last year this was not cool or work, and then next year it is cool, you move with that because you have no grounding. 10 years from now, you do the same.
But still, you just be swayed.
Yes, if you hear Emmanuel speaking and saying, but nowadays, let me tell you, do not trust us. So nowadays, people are bad. You have no grounding. You'll believe people are bad and things are not meant to last. That's what you'll believe.
Yeah.
Because what the people around you, so they talk. You have no grounding. But when you have a grounding, even when there are 30 people talking about how people are bad nowadays or economy is bad, you're grounding, you're out foundation, and you're good. In the midst of them, you're there, but you're just comfortable and sitting. And you know what that gives you? It gives you peace. It gives you focus.
Yeah.
Then it gives you more time to keep building.
Wow.
And all this cannot be done if you're not doing or living your life in accordance to His purpose.
To His purpose.
Because everything else is flawless. You know? Everything, and that's why you see it's easy for you. It's easy for you to build. You're starting this, it's running well. You're starting the other one, it's running well. You're a career person, growth after growth. You're comfortable.
Wow.
You know?
So that's why that scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom and all other things will be added. Yeah.
If people understood the hack of that life, you know, life would have been easy. And I'm saying it's different from religion and spirituality. You know? Very different, but you need to have an understanding. When you have an understanding, every other thing flows to you.
Wow.
It's easier building. You're building in peace. You know, and whatever you're building, you're sure 10 years, 20 years from now, you're patient, you're giving it time.
Yeah.
It's like, building is intriguing. Is it career-wise, 10 years, 20 years from now, you're sure about it?
Yeah.
Is it Nuelas? Started when I was a student. Right now, I'm not a student. It is still there.
Yeah.
I'm sure about it 10 years. My future kids will come one day and you see the Nuelas you're talking about. One day it was. You see the data sets you're talking about. The friend I started with was a campus mate.
Yeah.
But then we want to be, also myself, the people I admire and I want to be like them, but I realize, no, there's a process. I have to trust the timing. So when I have that understanding, I enjoy my seasons, whether bad seasons, whether good seasons. There is a peace and a comfort that I have. Because I know the foundations I'm working on right now, 10 years from now, I ask myself every day, will they matter?
Yeah.
The connections I'm lining right now, 10 years from now, will they matter?
Will they matter?
Or do I say, I want to do this until I finish with it so as I come back?
Right.
Okay, 10 years from now, will it really matter? Or are we postponing problems?
Yeah.
You know? So intentionality is very key. Building a foundation is very key. Being grounded, having a grounding. It doesn't, you get your grounding. What I'm saying is get your grounding. Whether it's Islamic or but get your grounding and be deep in it.
Okay.
You know, those are very important matters towards a person getting his or her own purpose in life.
Wow.
You don't find yourself competing, wanting to be a career person or a business or this, because you already have this at core and you find your purpose.
Okay.
And you find comfort in wherever you're
in. Okay. Thank you so much. That was really eye-opening. And now I'll keep thinking on that on everything I do. Just grounding, foundation, and God.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes. So you're on social media?
Yes, I'm on social media. Nuelas Closet is on social media as Nuelas Closet. Myself, Peter Emmanuel, social media is Peter Emmanuelas.
Okay.
You know, the other stats, of course, we haven't yet worked on is socials, because now there are businesses you find on more one-on-one than social media, you know.
Right.
But business like fashion, social media has to be there.
Okay.
So yeah, we're on social media. You can find us there, and we can get in touch.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate all the advice. I'm sure everyone, including myself, will think of the three. Thank you so much.
Sawa, karibu.
All right.